Okay, good evening. So we will see today advanced decorators using dot arcs and star star, double star, kwargs. So it's like we have already seen this is unlimited positional arguments, and this stands for unlimited keyword arguments. So generally, in the previous section, what we have seen. We have seen the decorator, but we have seen only a function where we haven't passed any arguments to the wrapper function or any function here. But what if we need to pass an argument, and depending on that argument, we have to return something to the code so that the code will run properly. So there might be different kind of use cases for this. For example, for logging or for uh, calculating the time, of how much time it run for a script to execute. For this all purposes, we actually use arguments like advanced decorators. So generally the recap is, again, we have seen the inner function will be there and we return only the wrapper function without the parentheses. So now what happens now? So the star arcs and asterisk arcs or star star KW arcs captures arbitrary number of positional arguments, keyword arguments inside the uh, function. So let's go to a demo. For example, let's see this first. So generally here one of the example is like we want to measure function time. So how much time it took to run that function. So here what we are doing, we are defining an one decorator. So where we have defining measure time and it will take a input as function. Now we are defining a wrapper function and then we are giving the arguments. So depending on the arguments, the function will take place. So for example, because this is taking n as an argument, so the same thing we can pass into for example into this as of now. So so here so the same thing I meant is the function where it takes argument. So here 10 is the argument, so the function will take the argument and return the result. Result is nothing but what are the function we are calling in the decorator. So that is the function. So generally the main difference will be here. uh, we won't be calling any here. If you see here, we are not passing any this one like decorated or like for example this one, say hello. We are not passing any argument into the uh, function call what we are calling. But here if we are passing that argument inside that argument should be uh, defined here in inside this. If we don't, if we not given this and if we try to run it, this will actually fail. It says, for example, just log comment. Now I am just cutting this. So let me try. Uh, So it is saying the wrapper is taking 0 position arguments, but 1 was given. What's happening here, because we have given this argument, so it is not defining, the wrapper is not taking any argument. So but here we have given an argument to the function, so that's why we need to define. Sorry. Now if I run the function again, so for this too it took 0.07 seconds. So here what we are doing, we are actually importing time 1 hour before the function. We are just taking the time, and after the function call, we are again taking the time, and we are actually calculating function, what is the function name. So function name is nothing but the complex calculation, what it call it is. So this already we have seen this attribute notation, and then I took end is like this, the end time minus start time, and its formatting dot .pf is the it will take display only seconds. So now the another example is, let's see. So here we are defining a one class, and we are actually defining the constructor method. So here whenever we create an object of this class, so we have created an object and we have created user, and new user is the object of this class. So whenever we pass this as argument, so by default this is set to, name is set to Sai, and is logged is set to false. But so now we are calling a decorator, so to check whether it is he is logged in or not. So how we will be doing? So now we have defined is under authenticated decorator, and sorry, anything. So here we are defining a wrapper, and then we are calling the positional argument and keyword argument. And here so it's the positional argument, so whatever here define the user, so when the user is defined, so it is like whenever we are calling, it is like sai dot is logged in. We are checking this method or this variable whether it is set to true or not. So we are calling with the object notation user is logged in equal to true. Here we are setting. Otherwise, if you want set, the function won't be called. So the function is like user, and again the user is nothing but whatever we passing here, the name. So yeah, it will. For example, if I just comment this out, because this condition is won't get satisfied, because this is the function we are calling, and this is a wrapper function, and argument is whatever the function argument we are taking. So from the list there is a first argument we are taking, and just we are calling that logged in variable from the class what we have created, and then once this condition satisfied, we are calling the main function. So now if I run this, we will get only calculation time. Because this condition is not getting satisfied, and we have taken this. We put is logged in equal to true, because by default when an object is created of this class user, this is logged in variable is set to false. Until unless we change it, it won't be satisfied. Then we run. Now this is our log post. So here we are actually dealing with arguments, positional arguments. Even the keyword arguments also the same kind of where we can have dictionary snippets, the keyword arguments, and then we can have the same getting hold of the document, and then we can create what for example, this is like authentication mechanism uh, can be used like once user logged in, then the flag is set to true once credentials matches. So the decorator is this as a decorator. So that's one of the use case again. So here the complex calculation, the arguments, capture positional arguments are the notation. So logging capture function calls arguments, return values, and authentication. Store the based on arguments, so catching and customer validations. So the advanced decorators can be used for this kind of use cases. So now let's go back. Before that, uh, the arguments can be used like not only to make. So for example, here we are actually calling four decorators. If you see, this is like the first decorator where it called to navigates to buy, and we are making a bold, emphasis, underlined. So what exactly we are doing? So here we are getting text from the function. Again, this so getting that hold of that function. So here make bold, we are calling a decorator to make that text, whatever the written text is there, to make it bold, and whatever to make it is emphasis, and to make it like emphasis nothing but slanting kind of stuff like and then we are making it bold. So this three will be done instead of writing everything here. uh, we can actually use this decorators for other for example, we can use this for this also, like if we write here. So now if I just let's in that case 616. Okay, okay, let me just I need to just commenting it out. Okay, there is two functions, it is overriding, that's why. Okay, So now it is hello world by default. Now if I just make by, so if you see here it is bold, and it has underline and it is emphasis. So if I just taken something, right, just comment this out, just I'm saving, and if I refresh it again, now there is no bold. Yeah. So yeah, the usage of decorators for HTML parsings also we can like this, but I think it is mainly when there is only text written of text only there. But if we have any uh, kind of usernames, I meant to say variables in the routings, maybe we need to take another route. So otherwise it is saying existing endpoint function, there is a overwriting assertion. I think at that time I think we need to use this kind of stuff. I mean, this advanced decorator, I need to write the advanced decorator to take username as argument, and then I need to call the this one, the decorator. So okay, let's try that. Now yeah, let's go to today's one of the interesting website. So it is very easy. So whatever we have done till now, that's so let's make an server.py file in whatever. So higher lower, for example, we just create an folder inside our working directory, and then uh, so higher lower just I created, and I created server.py file. So now generally here they are given step by step. So we need to create a Flask application, and h1 heading says guess a number between 0 to 9. Display GIF of our choice from alternatively we can so we can use directly this GIF, or we can directly use the this one. So here we are already written. So by default what we are saying, we are actually create a simple Flask graph. So app equal to Flask name, and we have to create this one. And here we have seen root. Uh, so by default this will be the root element, and we are calling the function. Here we are returning h1, the image source here. So by default then name equal to mine, and debug we have set. So now just commenting this out. Okay, it's still running. Sorry. So now by default, so we are getting SN number and displaying whatever the GIF they have provided. Now we have to generate a random number, because we already know we have used multiple times how to generate a random number between 0 to 1 in the random module. So here we have imported random, and random equal to random from random integer. Just let's generate 0 to 9, and we are actually printing the number here just to check what exactly it got hold of. Now we have to create a your root that detect entered by user. So we have already seen. So this variable should get hold of whatever the user enters. It should get hold of by the code, and it will take the it as a user input. So now, for example, here just I am. So app.root, and here by default string, so we are converting it to as an integer. So and we are passing it to the function. So now if the guest number is greater than a random number, so whatever we picked up, then we are actually displaying too high, try again. So here we are defining a style because so different color, so the h1 should be different color when it is high, what is low, like so for example this one too low, try again. If it is, if the random number was 5, so it should display like this, red, and if it is too high it should display purple, and it should display green if you found me, and we have to display all these gifs. So it's straightforward. We not need to do anything. So we have just guess greater than, and we are displaying the color greater than. It's too high, try again. Less than is color red. Style equal to yesterday we have seen alignment, a similar kind of stuff. We are actually giving color to the h1 heading, and we are displaying the GIF. So all the GIFs links are provided here. Last at last. So we can this is not only you can use our own GIF. You can go to jiffy.com, and then you can just get a hold of all that. If I just go back, just refresh it, and here, so by default when it refreshed it is actually 0. So now if I just want to again this time closing this, and again I want to run. So here if you see, okay, we're starting with watchdog. Okay, so here it is like 3 whatever our random number. So for example, if I just go to 6, I'm trying. So it is like saying too high, try again. So if I just go to 2, so the GIF is taking a little bit time to load, so that's why it's still The GIF is not ready. So if I just go to 3, so this is a small GIF, so it has loaded. So because I know the number, so it is matching with the 3. So that's why we got this GIF. So here we have used whatever we have learned, all the decorators, and then a decorator via variable, and how to get hold of that. We have seen. But again, this is so every time it number won't change until unless we restart the server. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Sharing.